Good morning. Lovely to see you. It's a bit of a dull old day today. And it was quite wet yesterday, but cooler. Many of us are grateful for it being cooler. We're in Luke 11, looking at the teaching of Jesus about prayer. And we come to a little parable that Jesus said. But really, we mustn't take this parable out of its context. Jesus has just told them that they should pray, saying, Father, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come. Give us each day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation. And he said to them, which of you who has a friend will go to him at midnight and say to him, Friend, lend me 3 loaves. A friend of mine has arrived from a journey, and I have nothing to set before him. And he will answer from within, Do not bother me. The door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot get up and give you anything. I tell you, though he will not get up and give him anything because he is a friend, yet because of his importunity he will rise and give him whatever he needs. And I tell you, ask, and it will be given you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. It's interesting. This is a strange little parable, and I want perhaps for you to think about it today, and perhaps I might tomorrow draw what I find to be the conclusion from it. But don't stop reading it at the end of verse 8. Read verse 9 and 10 and 11 to 13 as well. So my thought is, spend today thinking about your friends and how they would treat you if you were in need. Now, we don't have situations very often like the situation that Jesus described. And when we think about it, why did Jesus give this kind of parable? Most of the parables that he taught were based on things that happened in ordinary everyday life that he observed. And it's quite probable that people did travel during the night rather than during the day, especially in the summer when it was very hot, and would arrive late in the evening or in the early morning, perhaps, when they arrived at their friend's house. And unexpected arrival, I don't know, but perhaps it had happened. This very thing had happened to someone that Jesus knew. And he was saying to them, how would your friends behave if you came and asked them for something when they didn't expect you to ask them, and when they were asleep in bed, and they were actually not personally connected to the person you were trying to help? And think about your friends, and I think about my friends. Well, you're my friend. If something happened in the middle of the night and the phone rang and it was me asking for help, I know with an absolute certainty that every one of those people who are my friends, and even people who would not count themselves as my friends, but my neighbour next door or my neighbour the other side, there's very few people who would say, Go away, I'm asleep, I'm not helping you. Do you know people that would behave like that? Do you know neighbours that would behave like that? Acquaintances that would behave like that? How many of us have had an experience in our life when we've had to ask a complete stranger for help at an unexpected, inconvenient moment, and they've responded and helped us? It's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Friendship is a wonderful thing. And we are here for each other. And I hope and pray that if ever any of the people who you know, even the acquaintances that we have within the church or within our community, my friends in the U3A, it's not just Christians who would behave like this. It's all our friends, my friends in the U3A. If I was in distress or need, and I rang them up, they would be round like a flash to help. Whatever the need was, they would help, because you wouldn't go to someone in the middle of the night unless it was an urgent need, unless there was some real trouble. So this is a scenario. Jesus is saying, do you have friends like this who would actually have to be persuaded to help in the middle of the night when something difficult had arisen in my life? I'd have to persuade them to help? No. They would help very readily. They would come to my rescue. So think about this scenario. Think about a modern day version of this scenario. It wouldn't be a lack of food in the middle of the night. I don't think any of us are in a situation where we don't have enough food. We thought at the beginning of lockdown, we could have we could have lived for a month from what is in our cupboards, even if it was only spaghetti and tomato ketchup or beans. We could live for a long time on what's in our cupboards. We wouldn't have this kind of need that this man had. So what kind of need might arise in the middle of the night? Think about it. Think about it today, and think about how would your friends, or even those people who are just people who you know, who are within a group and you don't know them terribly well, but you know them. Each one of us would help as best we could. We would not refuse. We would not behave like this friend in this story. So why did Jesus tell this story the way that he told it? Think about it today, and we'll think about it again tomorrow. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.